What's up YouTube? Capital G here, looking at a brand new promo coming out of the OCG called Ancient Gear Golem Mechanized Melee, and this is pretty much support for Ancient Gears, so you fans out there of the archetype are definitely going to be happy. Everyone knows that they are getting a structure deck soon, and they're getting some really good cards in the structure deck. I think that this card will definitely be playable like immediately upon release because it kind of just replaces the original Ancient Gear Golem. It's just like a better version, and the stats and like the like attribute and everything is pretty much just transferred over from like the super old card from the Lost Millennium, if I'm not mistaken. So again, the name is Ancient Gear Golem Mechanized Melee. It's a level 8 Earth machine, 3000 attack, 3000 defense. I am almost certain that that is taken straight from the original Ancient Gear Golem. So all the applications that you could use the original for, like trade-in and with catapult and all that good stuff in Gear Town, you can basically use it with this card as well. Cannot be special summoned just like the original, but there are a lot of cards that ignore the summoning conditions and basically let you special summon this card. Effect number 1. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict battle damage to your opponent. The original Ancient Gear Golem had that built into it too, so it only makes sense that this one would as well. In fact, that's one of the trademarks of Ancient Gear monsters, like the really big ones, is they all like do piercing damage. So they punish your opponent for playing very small monsters. Effect number 2, and this is really the ceiling that definitely sets it apart from the old card. Twice per turn, when this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can discard one machine type monster. This card can immediately make make one more attack in a row. So this guy basically can attack 3 times. You just would have to destroy 2 monsters of your opponents and you'd have to discard 2 machines. I think that this effect is really good because I see this as a game closing effect. I think maybe your opponent has a little monster on the board, like a Paleozoic. It's like 1200 or something like that. You're able to run it over, discard a card, and then, you know, hit their life points directly for like 3000. And that's a ton of damage coming out of one monster. And you have to think about it, when you're in the battle phase, like monsters in your hand aren't really going to do anything unless they're like Honest or Collude or something like that. In the Ancient Gear deck, like those monsters in your hand, you might as well convert those into raw damage and just try and end the game. Effect number 3, which I think is actually pretty good too because it allows you to pay for this guy. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can add 2 cards to your hand, 1 polymerization from your deck, and 1 Ancient Gear monster in your graveyard except this card. Okay, so to me, I think that this effect pretty much combos perfectly with the second effect. The second effect lets you go ham by discarding, excuse me, potentially your Ancient Gear monsters, and this lets you basically recover one of those Ancient Gear monsters. Now, the one thing I don't like about this effect, because it does potentially let you get 2 monsters back, so it's like, what's not to like? You do have to run polymerization, guys. Like you need to understand that you either get both monsters, or excuse me, both cards to your hand, or you get neither at all. So if you like only run polymerization and you draw it in your opening hand, you basically will not be able to activate this effect if you only run like 1 copy or something like that. You basically need to be able to fulfill both of those before you can activate the effect. So I mean, I don't know, Ancient Gears do have some pretty decent fusion monsters. Maybe I would consider running 1. But overall, I think this card is pretty good. I mean, I don't really see a reason to run the original Ancient Gear Golem anymore. I mean, yeah, this card is susceptible to like Mirror Force and shit like that the old one isn't, but that's like the only relevant thing that I can think of because that's all that the original Ancient Gear has over this card. I definitely, however many Ancient Gear Golems that you were running in your Ancient Gears, like I would just swap them out because I think this card is just better. So you guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always, and subscribe if you have not already.